Capricorn, how you doing, guys? So we've got some channel messages for you. This is from the 15th into the 31st of May. How you doing, Capricorn? And then we look into cards for you. To be honest, your channel messages are quite sporadic at the moment because I'm feeling like hot and cold. It's like it's something that they're saying. It's like I'm passing a lot of trying to pass a lot of stuff. It's like pass up on things. I don't know if there's a lot of passing opportunities because I heard cold shoulder. Now, but I also heard frozen shoulder. Like some of this could be symptomatic stuff of hot and cold fever because of a pulled muscle or something. But it seems like I'm being put out, like put out. There's some kind of like fire sign also around you guys. Sagittarius is what I'm hearing. Because I'm hearing like a mutable fire sign because something's being put out. It's like I'm just being put out, or you're putting people out. I'm not sure. But in certain ways you would be feeling put out around work because I don't know where it's coming from, but there's definitely like a lot of I feel put out and I'm going out of my way in order to do something, but I always feel like I'm getting the cold shoulder, like I'm getting the brunt end of the stick is what they're saying. There's definitely like a 5 of wands coming up, but it's like I'm getting the brunt end of the stick. I always seem to get the brunt end of something. Like if it's to do with work, it's like, okay, Capricorn, there you go. There's the brunt end of the stick. There's all of that. And it's like, really? You've just landed all of that stuff on my table? I'm picking up like a secretary or something as well. And it's kind of like you've just landed all that on my table and now I'm supposed to deal with it? How do I always get the rough end of the stick? Why do I always get the most amount of payload for the most amount of pay grade is what they're saying though. I think that could be something that your boss might be saying to you. Is like, well, if you want more of a pay grade, or something to do with like grading and degrading as well, retrograde, I actually didn't realise. And I've been saying that through my readings about retrograde coming up and things and happening, and I've got no idea what's going on with astrology until my girlfriend told me last night that, did you realise there are three planets in retrograde and one of them is Saturn? So yeah, I normally feel it all or hear it before I start finding out about it, but there's some kind of like, well, I'm just about to find out about some news, or I've just found out, they're saying just found out about it. I've just found out about this news and I seem to be getting the brunt end of the stick, but I don't know if you're giving someone the brunt end of the stick or they are you, but there's some kind of like cold shoulder, coldness to it. It's like it's a little bit like, you know, when you go back into an office or something and it's cold and it's weary and gloomy and it's a little bit like looking at dripping, I don't know why I'm seeing like this factory, right, this old factory or something, and it's like dripping full of like water and it's like dripping down. You could be involved with the water sign, but if there's like the signposts and everything of kind of like, well, what are we going to do with this land? What are we going to do with this? Because I don't know why I'm picking up like a surveyor or like land or sayer, Leo sayer, could be a Leo, pulling an all-dayer at work, but I don't know why I'm picking up that it's a lot to do with this piece of land or something, and it's like there's this factory or there's this big building on it, and you walk in and you open the doors and it's like, oh my word, look, it's all kind of like rot and there's kind of dripping water and taps and like sinks that all need cleaning, and it's like, do we really want to invest into this property or do we not, or shall we let it go? I don't know if a lot of you are like physically thinking about a future plan, or you are looking into buying a new property, okay, or even this could be like a work unit, like there's a work unit in it, and you could even just be feeling this way of like looking around the same old work unit and you're like, oh, this is just like, you know, the amenities. I'm also picking up meanie or miney or tiny, but meanie, miny, mo, catch a thief by his toe, ooh, something like that. I don't know why that one's coming up. There's something to do like someone trying to steal your possessions is what they're saying. Trying to take your possessions. And I don't know where we're going with that one. But they definitely said that. Meanie, miny, meanie, mo. Catch a thief by its toe. But anyway, I'm thinking that there's a lot to do with this cold shoulder. Like, I've just been, it's they are saying that it's like, I've just been given the cold shoulder. It's like, never mind. It's something like that. It's like an expectant of something, and you were kind of like, well, there's kind of like, I'm expecting something from it, but you know what? My aspirations for the whole thing really weren't that much anyway. I was kind of expecting this news, so it's a bit like, you know what? Because I can actually see someone doing that, like, you know, well, never mind, and kind of like just go on about your business is what they're kind of like, well, what I'm channeling. But putting a lid on something is what they're saying. I picked up Lydia, or Livia, or lid, or lib, like ad-libbing. It's like someone that takes, like a secretary or something, but notes. They're saying notes, also notes and notes and notes and notes. That actually came through the last reading that I did, which was Sagittarius, I think. Aquarius. But notes and notes and notes and notes. And I'm taking notes and I'm taking notes. And I'm also taking notice of something. It's like, but they're saying put a lid on something. Like I need to put a cap on. Like put a cap on. It might also be a Capricorn, but you are Capricorn, so there could be another Capricorn. But like I need to put a cap on it. Like, I don't know why I'm seeing people putting hoods on and like put my cap down and like try to hide my eyes and just kind of like go out and like, you could be well involved with possible Virgo maybe, and that's coming through. Because I'm feeling like an aura of like, oh man, we need to cover this up and we need to hide this. And I don't know why someone's like physically trying to hide something about their face or about their appearance, and it's like, oh, I need to cover that. It's not for everybody, but that might be for someone. But I don't know why I'm seeing someone like putting a hood up like that, and they're kind of like going out in the morning cold, or like they're sort of like, oh god, you know. And I don't know, are people doing that? But it definitely feels like I need to put a cap on, and I need to strong something. Okay, cover something up. Yeah, something going on. But I picked up strong for some reason, like something strong, something that's very strong. But I'm picking up like a smell of something. Now, in Aquarius energy, I did pick up that notes, but I picked up nose, that someone kept checking their nose. And for some reason, it might be because I do this when I'm channeling, but like something is strong, like a smell or something is like very strong. And I don't know why I'm picking up on like pneumonia or pneumonia, hopefully not, but ammonia. But something like, they're saying that something really smells like, you know, factory cleaning products or something. And I don't know if something is leaking, because that did come up in a Leo reading, I'm sure it did, or a reading about a refrigerator or something. They're saying a fridge leaking and it's leaking gas or something like that. And it's like, oh man, that's like, oh, it's like we can't work in conditions like this. Nobody's done anything. It feels like the conditions of working environment, I don't know why. I mean, I don't know if this is a house that someone's trying to do up and they're like, oh man, that stinks. It's like, what on earth is that? But I don't know where these are coming from, Capricorn. And obviously these would only relate to you if they do. But like something is very strong going on as well. Something is also very strong going on as well. Like with your, they're saying that also with your karmic relationship. But everything is karmic. So, well, everything is. But they're saying with your karmic relationship, where this would be obviously a very toxic situation that you've got going on with somebody, right? Obviously we have karma with everyone. But it's like putting a cap on and trying to hide yourself from someone. It's like, oh, I've got to see this person again. And it's like, oh, just put a cap on, put a hood on, and try my best to get somewhere without anybody giving me any hassle, without possibly this person seeing me. And I just need to do it because they're definitely saying that something strange was going on in different readings where there was a Capricorn involved. Okay, there was. And it's kind of like someone either doing something shady, or they're doing it on purpose for a reason of why, if it is you that you're doing it on purpose for someone, and it's just coming through as another reading of where they're seeing it very strange, but it's a reading. But curb my addiction as well, I picked up, like I need to curb my addiction. There is some, okay, because I wrote that and now that's coming through of checking someone's nose. It's a little bit like a compact or something, and it's like, oh, I just need to like check my face for something. Like I need to check on my face. I don't know why someone keeps checking on their face or something, right? But that could just be like compacts and people that do makeup and things like that. But for some it's coming through as like I need to curb my addiction. And through that other channeled reading, where there was checking my nose. There could be somebody that is checking up on somebody that had an addiction, and it's coming from the other person that is checking their nose. When they come back into the room, they're kind of like doing that, and then they're like, because I definitely pick up on like a heroin addiction or a cocaine addiction. You know, I'll be blatantly honest, that's definitely what I'm picking up for some. If it's not, it's like I'm sensing something in the air that is addictive, but for some it is coming across as like I need to go back into the office, or I need to go back somewhere. Because I got a feeling, I don't know why they're saying that someone is taking self-medicating to do with like staying awake because their workload is high. Because I'm definitely picking up a high and a low. I'm definitely picking up on the Sagittarius. I don't know if there's the Virgo definitely as well, they're saying. So mixed energies of whoever's relating to the messages. But again, it's like I need to check my nose, or if someone is taking like medication in order to stay awake, in order to finish their workload. But it's like the hot and cold, like we're blowing hot and then we're blowing cold, and it's like, oh, I don't know if I can be bothered. Oh, what on earth's going on, Capricorn? It might not be you guys, but it would be around you if it is. And it's kind of like, as well, it's like it's hot and then it's cold, and then you're blowing hot and then you're blowing cold. It's like, what are you doing? It's like I can't regulate your energy. Are you blowing hot, or like are you like really up and about, and then all of a sudden you're not? And it's like, what on earth's going on? It could well be because of Saturn, obviously in retrograde, and there's a lot of like real weird stuff, kind of like feeling sensation-wise going on, right, guys? But definitely like someone checking themselves, like having to check themselves quite a lot. Now, I heard check yourself before you wreck yourself, but I mean, really, everybody wrecks themselves, right? But again, it's like I'm hearing a checkout center, like next, yeah, beep, yeah, next, and someone's checking someone out, and it's like, oh, how you doing? And it's like, don't talk to me like that, brother, sleazy. I'm definitely picking up that someone works somewhere and someone passes and they're kind of like, yeah, what you got for sale? Or they're trying to buy something off you and you're like, oh, what? That's a little bit sleazy. What's that for? Do you know what I mean? Because I think that someone's like, through retrograde, is obviously being graded and degraded. This is a lot of time also for you guys where you might feel degraded, or someone might feel degraded by you. I really couldn't tell you, but I'm definitely picking up on grades and degrades and like feeling degraded, and like it's like, oh dear, what on earth is all this coming from, Capricorn? Because I definitely feel like that someone is like actually degrading somebody, like they're actually saying something that they don't want to hear or do, and it's kind of like, oh, that's a little bit too much. It's a little bit like, you know, when someone probably sends you a picture or something, and you're kind of like, oh, what on earth did you just send me a picture of that? It's like, who are you? And it's kind of like, just comes out of nowhere, and it's like, cool, that's a little bit degrading, you know. So I've got no idea, but I mean, are people sending pictures to one another? Because I mean, I don't know if I'm picking up on some kind of like pandemic around you, but I'm definitely picking up on like a lot of pictures and a lot of like, I don't know, someone's sending a lot of like Capricorn, if I'm honest, they're saying strange stuff. Someone's trying to cover something up, put a hood on, and kind of like, it's a little bit like a hacker, right? And I don't know if I'm channeling from this person, but like someone in the background on a computer and they're hacking, and I just have this vision of this person with a hood on like that, and they're kind of like doing their stuff like that, and they're doing something very shady on the computer, is what I'm hearing. Now, whether this is coming across as anything illegal or legal, or just like, I just really don't want to be bothered and I've got a hood on and I'm just kind of like doing my work. But I'm definitely picking up on like putting a cap on it. Now, a cap is also part of the internet, which is curbing addiction, but also a cap on something. Like, I've been restricted. Like restrictions, districts, and restricted from a district. Okay, and that we can't get through to there, and it's a little bit like a cap on that. It's kind of like, well, I'm here. I mean, you could work in London. Trust me, we've all just come back. They're now saying that we can now have certain regulations, but they're lifting the lockdown slightly, right? Now, me personally, I've been asked to go back to work for my work, which is with kids, right? And that they have to get into a van, but it's only once, like twice a week. But whilst in the van, children of that age, they will not wear a mask, right? They will not. You couldn't keep a mask on a child if you tried anyway, right? But again, they get in, and my PA has to be that close to this child when they're in the van, like that, but it's set by the government, and by that's the regulation of that you've got to go back to work and this child needs to get to school, right? But again, then they're saying in the government that you're supposed to maintain a 2 metre distance, and if you go in a car and if you go in a van, it's supposed to be with just family. It's mixed signals. Okay, so what I'm picking up through that with you guys is that you could work in like London, England, or something like that, because the tubes are getting absolutely ridiculous around there now. But it's a little bit like public transport, right? That you need to get from here to here, but there's a district here that you can't get through. And it's like, well, how are we supposed to get from here, where I am, to work? What would you do, walk? I can't walk, I need public transport. So what are we going to do? And it's a little bit like my situation, really, of like, well, what are we going to do then? Like, because we're here, we've got to get here, but there's a distraction of something in the middle. Now, that's either a person or it's coming through as your work. I think we're kind of getting to the point. I don't know why I feel very slow today. Very slow, like progressing very slow. I think that's why. And so we're progressing very slowly, and very slowly, and very slowly, and we're very slowly being pushed and pushed and pushed, and it's like, I'm soon going to lose my stuff. But I think that, because I keep picking up people being stuffed, like stuffed into something, and it's like, just all get in there and like, push everybody in, and it's like when the door's shut and you're like, oh my word, it's like, oh, don't breathe on me, and it's like, oh no, and everyone's like worried and I really am picking up on London, England, because that's a lot like the tubes, man, in London. Has anybody ever been over to the UK and London? Wow, I've only ever been once, and I'm like, it's not that far from me. But again, oh yeah, I didn't enjoy that experience. But again, well, London's nice, but again, the tubes, man, just like, and you're all in there like that, and you're like, oh, you're right, silly, getting on, bruv, yeah, don't breathe, and it's a little bit like that, do you know what I'm saying? Right, I'm going to leave those messages there, because it's a little bit slow coming out, Capricorn, I'm sorry, but that's what it is, and I think it is to do with, like, districts, and being distracted, and, like, how we're going to get to here, so we need support by the government, and if we're having to do this, then there's kind of a lot of feeling of like this gloominess of like, oh, I just need to put a hood up and a mask on and just kind of like do all this like weird stuff and like, do you know what I'm saying? That's definitely what I'm feeling, Capricorn. So your tarot reading, you versus them, dark side, two-face reading for Capricorn, something rising Venus from the 15th to the 31st. They go blocking this card, but the Four of Cups came out when I was pre-shuffling. It's now the Four of Coins. Taurus, Scorpio energy. Taurus descending, Scorpio rising, or vice versa. But either, it's like, I am shut. We are closed. It doesn't even matter if you get here. We're closed. I'm closed off. I don't want to know. I'm not listening. There is so much in order that I have tried to accomplish in my life that all I'm really concentrated on is how much I've accomplished by actually putting up a barrier. There's a lot of barriers in your life, Capricorn, and hurdles of many rivers to cross, but I can't seem to find my river. A water sign. I don't think you can find the water sign, or you can't find the water for some reason. They keep saying, like, I can't seem to find the water. It's a little bit like Adrian. It's like, she gave me water, right? Which was the very old film of was it Frankenstein? Who was that one that says, she gave me water? That's an old film. But again, it's like, I'm blocked off. Closed, no. The answer's no. That is a definite no. Pronounced. I pronounce myself, I said it, and what I say is what I mean. Don't disturb me when I'm at work. Don't disturb me when I've got quiet time. Do not disturb, do not enter. It's a little bit like a bedroom sign. It's like, I'll put a sign up on my door, do not disturb, do not even try. So if you're trying to get into somebody or get through to someone, they're more than likely blocked somebody off. But this could well be you being an earth sign. But whoever it is on either end of the scale, the answer is like, for sale sign is like, I'm not for sale. It's not for sale. So you could get an answer if you're looking to buy something where it's not for sale. Let's see. or it's like, is it worth me investing into this? If those channel messages are right and someone's looking at something where there are like leaking taps and leaking stuff like that and leaking stuff out, it's like looking for internet protection against somebody as well, like looking for capping something off, putting a cap on. You see this person's got a cap on something. It's like a limitation. It's like, well, I've got a cap on my phone. Oh, I don't know. They're actually saying that someone could have a cap on their actual internet, like they can only use so much internet, where they don't have a providing package where it's like, just use whatever you want. And they put a cap on it. It's like, you've drawn your limit this month. Do you know what I mean? You've drawn your limit, we put a cap on it, you can't have any more. There's something to do with that around money. If someone's looking for like government money or something, it's like, well, there's a cap on that. So you've got to put in how much you've earned this month through self-employed, blah, 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 and there's a cap. So it's kind of like trying to balance things out with your money, just to try and think, well, you know, I don't want to exceed my limit, because there's limits and there's terms and conditions also within love, and it's kind of like, well, this is my limit. I'll put in a cap on it. There's only so many times I can reach out and talk to you. Can't do it all the time. There's a cap on my internet for some reason. That's what they're saying. We're being capped. Captivated. Caption, like a caption, like a like freeze, caption, caption, and take. There you go. Wow, this has come out for Pisces, I think, Aquarius as well, and Leo. Exactly the same card, exactly the same place. The Magician. Well, if you're blocked, I'm just going to have a new beginning anyway. I'm just going to go my own way. There is a chance if you want to put all things on the table and say, you know, let's have a discussion, let's talk about it. But there's also a copycat. That someone copies someone quite a lot. A copier, a photocopier. We picked up that through another reading or two readings. A copycat, copying, 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 and copying, and copy. Copyrights, also copyrights. Someone could be looking into copyrights and they're protecting themselves just to make sure that everything that they are doing themselves is actually legal and all above board before I go ahead and do it, right? Which is capping stuff. Captions. It's like captions and captions and captions. I just don't know why I keep hearing caption. Yeah, but I mean, if you want to reconciliate with this person, there's a chance that you can put everything on the table and have a talk, but it feels like that you don't want to. It feels either way, whoever this is, I don't really want to. Because what you're manifesting is being stuck again. Let's see, show me this side for Capricorn from the 15th to 31st of May. Capricorn. I feel really slow and melodic today, Capricorn, and I think it's because I knew that I had to do your reading. And I don't know why, and I think I'm feeling that blocked energy as if to say nobody's getting in. Okay, this is a care assistant as well, okay? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, my everlasting rainbow of money. All I'm concerned about is money, 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 money. I've got money on my mind, I've got money in the account, I've got money for the accountant, I've got money for everybody else and who wants it. That's what someone's saying. It is. I've got so much money that all I'm concerned about is money. And that's all I want to know is, where is the money? Where's the money? Where's my pay? Someone kind of like gets paid, and they kind of get paid, and they get paid, and they stuff it all into a bank, and they're kind of like, well, I'm watching my account like grow and grow and grow and grow, and I just can't wait until the next lot of money comes in where I can see it grow even more. There's someone also that's growing up around you quite fast as well. Something around your business is growing quite fast. Okay, you're putting a cap on something and trying to reserve a lot of energy and reserve a lot of money and looking into your reserves as well. Okay. Relatives also, my relatives also probably just donated me some money, or I just donated to somebody. It's like donations. Well, I thought it was the trash. As a donator, or donating, or a donor, or a donation for becoming an organ donor. This could be an organ donor is what they're saying. I donated an organ. Who donated an organ to somebody? Or you might be looking for an organ donor. I don't know why. An organ donor. Organ. An organ. Or Morgan. Morgan or Morgana. But organ donor. Show me this side for Capricorn from the 15th to the 31st of May. There you go. That's the same card. Scorpio rising. Or Scorpio. Scorpio Taurus. but it's generally for me a Scorpio rising and a Taurus descending on both ends of the scale. So someone, it could be you Capricorn, and you could have a Taurus in your chart somewhere, and this person has Scorpio in their chart somewhere, and it's a lot of restrictions of like, well, we're both as stubborn as Larry. You can be stubborn, I can be stubborn. Trying to get through to you is impossible, and trying to get through to you is impossible. This is a standoff, complete standoff. I don't want to listen, and I don't want to listen to either. And I don't want to listen to you screaming and shouting, and I don't want to listen to you screaming and shouting either. And I'll start over afresh. If you don't want to accept me, then don't. That's definitely what's coming through. Well, I've got all the money. Well, I've got all the success of starting over fresh with nothing. Well, I don't know. This magician could possibly have not much. Who knows? But again, all the money's here. It feels like everything has been transferred from one to account, from this account to this account. This is an accountant as well. But again, everything got transferred from this account, taken from this person, and put into your account, pretty much is what they're saying. If this is you, Capricorn, it feels like that if there was a case at court, you won. You won the decision by staying put and staying by your guns, and you won. But these three pentacles are still on this side, so it feels like, well, whatever it is, that there's more. It feels like that there's more energy I can take from this person, and I've got no idea why I'm feeling that one. But it feels like that this magician is giving off a lot of strange signals, right? Of so above, so below, and I'm just going to stay as I am until I get it, kind of feeling, right? If this is to do with your love life. So it feels like, well, I need protection from you because you've took way too much energy, you've took way too much of my time, and if it comes to a standoff and a standstill, you go your way and I go my way. But it feels like that someone won something. It's like, well, I'm not prepared to reach out and I'm not prepared to talk until you are. And this person's kind of like, well, if you take that stance, I'm open for a discussion and we can put everything on the table, but if you're not going to accept my offer, then... Oh wow! I mean, Doug or Duggan, McLovin. Someone could be McLovin, but stubborn. I'll show you this side. Very stubborn. Show you this side for Capricorn, symbolising Venus, 15th to 31st. I feel this energy around you guys, like I don't know, like it's just I can't seem to get through to your energy. Do you know what I mean? And I think that is like that. I can't seem to get through to you. It don't matter what I do, what I say, I can't seem to get through to you. There's not a lot of point us just screaming at one another. So I just can't seem to get through. So if you're blocking me, then I'll just block you as well. And then someone starts to think, well, I'm going to block you before you block me, and I'm going to block you out, and I'm not going to look at Facebook, even though I know that you're sort of checking and curious. So why did you block me? Are you giving all of that attention to another child or family? So why did you block me? So you're still both thinking about one another. Yeah, from a distance of the world. Well, how are we going to get from here to here? Or even how am I going to get through to this person if they're not listening? Well, how am I going to get through to this person if they're not listening either? So do I go out dating? This person could start fearing and thinking, well, are they actually dating somebody or not? Do I want to date someone new? Because I have a lot to offer and a lot to give, but I just don't know if I want to give it to the person that I'm compromised with. Which cross-watcher does not mean you. Because if you was the person concerned with Capricorn, that physical human being, that human being would not be watching this tarot card reading, right? That's a personal one. Private, there's some kind of like privacy. It's like privacy, 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 private. I keep that private. My private sex life is my own. My work life is my own. I like some time on my own. Privacy. Show me this side. From family and people, and like I like to isolate, you know. Show me this side. Or if you don't like to, you're having to because of restrictions. Show me this side. Capricorn, Sun and Rising Venus from 15th until 31st of May. Taurus. So a lot of you could well be married. This is either an ex-marriage, and that's a piece of paper, or it is just literally a marriage or a relationship that you're in where you're both as stubborn as one another. You know? Because this energy ain't moving. Trust me, they've got Taurus and the Four of Cups on their side. This person's ego, or this person, if you're in a fight with someone, will not budge even as much as what you want. But I think that you are willing to, or trying to understand about how much time and effort is it worth me trying to put through to someone else that's still not listening either. But then again, this is like, you know, when people are married or they're in a relationship for a long time, and it's like, well, I've got work and I'm here. You've got work and you're here as well, right? That's like a relationship. We live at a distance or we live apart. I'm at work, work takes over. And so working relationship. Working on it, possible, but a working relationship where that's life. That's life. That's what all the people say. You could be from New York. But again, this could be a marriage where it's kind of like, you know what? You know what, bruv? It's kind of like, I like to be quiet. I like my own time. I'm married, sure, but man alive, I need some time at work. I actually need to go to work. I actually need to go to work so I can get away. You know, I need a break. I need a holiday, but I need a break in general because it's just too much around the family. It's too much all of the time around the husband and wife and the kids, and it's all too much. That's for married couples. Marriage. Me, honestly, I think marriage is literally because you have kids together. I do, you know. If you've got kids, generally, well, I mean, I'm old-fashioned because I have Taurus descending, Scorpio rising. But me, my tradition would be the only necessary need to get married is if you've got actual children together. That's me, you know. Because, yeah, I'll leave that one out of it. But I think that's, you know, that's my belief. Wouldn't be everybody else's. Four of wands, run. You do run, you do run. You're both running. You're both running the business, you're both running the house, you're both running the bills, you're both running from each other at times if you're married or in a relationship. I'm trying to run things my way and I'm trying to run things my way. I've got my own business, you've got yours. So mind your business, don't ask me about my business and I won't ask you about yours. If you're also in a twin flame soulmate kind of situation around where there is distance and you are fighting with someone and they're not listening to you and you're not listening to them either, that's just because it's kind of like, well, I've got work, I've got things on, I'm stressed out, don't bother. And this person's like, yeah, well, me too. I've got a lot to contend with. I'm actually now having to seek support and guidance from the government and ask them for a handout because all of my money seems to be taken in a court case if you went through one. Okay? One more card, please, for Capricorn. Because it's like I'm bored. this side as well. It's like I'm bored. I'm bored. What can we do? And it's like, oh, don't keep asking me what to do. Haven't you got something to do? And it's like, no, I'm bored. It's like, well, if you're bored, then find something. Yeah, but what? And it's like, well, I just said, find something about you that you enjoy. And I'm getting a bit angry. And it's like, you know, find something in your life that like doesn't involve me. Because I've got work and stuff and I've got to look after the kids and the shopping and the house and the bills and everything else. So, you know, find something to do. This is kind of like a married couple, man, that have been isolated together for a while and they're just about to rip each other's throat out. It is. It is. Let's see. I'm bored. Yeah, well, I don't know, walk the dog. Yeah, I've done that 5 times already. Well, I don't know, walk it again. Get lost for a bit and then just, I don't know, go further. Go further afield. Look somewhere else. I don't know, someone also here could well be what I've just heard is looking for a job. Well, I mean, something's happened at court as well for a lot of you. And so, well, I got left for nothing. So it's like, well, I'm going to have to start again. I'm going to have to start over. I'm going to have to look for a job. I'm going to have to ask for support, housing support, family support, child maintenance. What do I do? Because now I'm stuck, because I'm living in two. I'm living with you. That's what I heard. Well, I'm living with you. I'm living with you. I'm living with you. 6, 7, 8. This is also someone that could be Jewish, is also what I heard. Or someone that has a very, what do you call it, religious background. Like they could be very religious, and it's sacred to them. And trying to get through to them, you can't. Like, if you're compared with someone that you can't get through to. Either way, I think you're both blocking each other out, to be honest. I do. I think someone has a stern and a stern and strong belief system, and memories, but again, a strong belief of something where it's like, no, I want things my way, and this is like, no, well, I'm going to do it my way, and it's like, no, I'm going to do it my way as well. We're living together, but sure, but I'll do things in private. I want my private time. When you're away, you have your life, I have mine. But if you're really fighting with someone, because there must be some kind of like a lot of restriction by trying to get through, because I think you've both got Taurus and Scorpio in your charts. That is a family situation, dynamic with you and a lot of people, where that placement is very difficult to open up. When you have fixed energies in your charts, it's very difficult to go through your karma, to know the right amount of consistency, when to let people in and when not to, because you're fixed emotionally. After certain periods of time of karma, when your boundaries are all in place with everything that you've learned, that's even more difficult to learn equality here, balance, the regulation of your energy, to who to let into your life and who not to. Definitely when you've gone through the mustard of karma, you can end up, well, you wake up even more, obviously, because you're awaking more, because you're walking more towards your karma. But the more you wake up, the more difficult it gets. Trust me, I'm telling you. I am not sugarcoating things. If people think, oh, well, I want to be awake and I want to listen, trust me, it is no easy ride. It really isn't, right? It's, there's the same saying, you should have took the blue pill, right? But again, you experience your karma more by becoming more stubborn, especially when you've got a rising sign of Scorpio. But yeah. So anyway, I'm going to stop babbling because I'm finding it very difficult to read today, guys. Sorry if I was a little bit bleak. I seem to do that around Capricorn readings just lately. I'm not sure why. I think it's because these energies. But anyway, we'll go on to the other side. It's still $5. Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus for over on Patreon. You'll just go there. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and you can watch your partner. Or you can reach out for a personal reading. If you like the intros that I do and the music and the film scoring and all that sort of stuff, you can still find some of those on here, but you can find the majority of them all over on Lucid Dream Tarot Music, where everything's in the Show More section. It takes you over there, and that's where I put all the music and the videos all just in one place. If you want to watch those, you can more than welcome to join. But also the personal email and all that sort of stuff for Skype calls or readings are in the Show More section. Thanks very much, Capricorn. Sorry about your reading, and I'll catch you over on the other side.